Who are you today?
So I was born on November the 5th, 1998, and I was born in Mototua Hospital. I only know my real mum, but I never had the chance to actually know who my real dad is. When I was born, my mum left me at the hospital, and the family that she was staying with at the time, they were the ones that took me in. And I was kind of adopted into this family, and as I was growing up, kind of realized things that I was getting picked on. I was getting blamed. I was getting hidings for things that I never did. And if my cousins were to, break something in the house, if something went missing, it will be me. Like literally, it will just like they will always say my name, and I will get hidings, and yeah. So that kind of scarred me. So when I became 15, um, that's when my life kind of started. I was 15. I moved up to Auckland with my uncles and my other family. Me thinking that, like there's going to be a change, but sadly, it was still the same. It was like something that was repeated. I was treated like very different. So I ran away, um, and I had a group of boys, and we weren't. I wouldn't say we were a gang, but we were just at that time just young teenagers. Wanted to stir up things, and that was lifestyle. Um, that's when I kind of got introduced into drinking, drugs, raiding, stealing, um, shooting houses. You know, um, things that people wouldn't think you'll do. You know, had my first time like actual being free because I've been searching all this time to be able to find what love is, and this is what the boys showed me, and so I loved it. You know, um, after parties, we'll walk around the center, try and stir up things, and like even get cops involved. Like honestly, we'd be getting chased by cops. Some people would be jumping over their fences trying to run away, and then we'll laugh about it at the end of the day. We'll probably meet up somewhere and we'll just crack a joke and be like, "Tell it that was me," because that was us when we were younger. Um, I think that's when I kind of felt like, just living that life, and I kind of felt like, living the street was all about loyalty, and they introduced me to loyalty, and it just kind of got to the point where I keep doing it and doing it, shooting houses down, you know um, going around acting hard, acting tough, thinking that no one can you know take us down, no one can drop you, because that's how I was. I had that mentality that was, you know I'm the hardest person there is. um, until it got to a point where I just kind of had enough, you know. Yeah, that was my life on the streets. Uh, I think this memory, it will always stick with me. It feels like it was just like yesterday. Um, this one night, it just kind of got to me. I kind of felt like I kind of missed home. I missed my family. You know, it's been like a couple of months. I haven't seen him. You know, so I didn't tell any of them, but I decided to leave and go and see my family. And yeah, so when I got to the house, you know, I kind of stood there for a bit and kind of hoped that you know, that when I walk through those doors, you know, will be kind of something different than when I left. But when I knocked on the doors and, you know, my cousins answered, I could just tell by the environment, you know, the space, like it was still the same. I remember what my uncle, when I walked in, and he said to me was, telling me, "Wow, you're still alive." I think for me at that moment, I just didn't know what to do. Yeah, so I thought that going back will be the best thing choice that I will ever make, but it wasn't. So I ran away from home again. I didn't want to go back to the boys. You know, I had no one to go to. So I thought, you know, I'll just try and cool down and rethink. But I was so angry and I was so frustrated, you know, and I asked myself, like, why me? You know, why am I going through this? You know, so I went for a walk, and all I remember, there was an alleyway that I had to go through to get to like the other side of the street, and where one of the boys stay. And I was gonna go and stay there for the night. But as I was walking through this alleyway, all I remember was there was one light, like it was literally in the middle of the alleyway. And so I was walking through. I had my blue bandana hanging behind me. I was walking through, you know, me thinking like, nah, nothing's gonna happen, you know. This is our area, like no one's gonna come through. But I just felt like I jinxed it. All I remember, I was walking through and I saw one guy. He was standing there, and that's all I saw from afar was just one guy. But as I got closer, like one guy turned into like 4 to 5 guys. And then right there and then I thought to myself, this is where I'm gonna die. Yeah, so these guys pulled out, you know, they were calling me out. Me thinking it was only them in front of me, but not knowing, someone rushed me from the back, and he punched me, and then I just fell on the ground. And all I remember as I was getting up, I was a bit dizzy, but all I remember I was getting up and I saw them. And one thing I remember in my head, like, okay, I need to put my back towards the fence, because then I'll know none of them can come behind me. So, you know, I put my back to the fence, and I was trying to fight, you know, but there was too many. And there was one guy, he had a knife, you know, and I don't know when or how he got the opportunity to stab me, but when I threw my hook, all I remember was just throwing hands, and I threw my hook, and I think that's when, because I didn't feel it at the time, because I was so hyped up, I had all this energy. I was angry from my family. I was angry because of the streets. I was angry because no one loved me. Or I don't know who I was, and I was so angry. I had so much anger in me, and once they did that, all I remember, one guy said, "Nah, that's us. Let's get. We're out." And they ran. And then here's me standing there thinking, nah, these guys, they're not all about it. They're scared. But as I was walking, I was walking through the alleyway, getting to the end, and all I felt on my hand was just like it was wet. And I was like, hey. And I remember just going to the light. That's when you turn left, there was one light. And I went to it and I looked at my arm, and I have a scar here. But I looked at my arm and all this blood was coming down. And at that time I was like, oh nah, like, am I gonna die? Is this where I'm gonna die? So I rushed. So I went to my mate's house that was there. I got in, but when I walked in, his mum was there. And all I remember was walking in, I was bursting in tears. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I was at the point where I was just, so, like, I didn't know what to do. So she came in, she covered my hand, she took me to the hospital. And I remember she was saying that it's best for me to go home. She's saying that living on the streets is not where we want to be. You're not going to get anywhere. Trying to be something that you're not, or trying to be someone that you think you are. Like, she was saying to me, like, if you want to be a gangster, the only place you're going to go to is jail, or you end up dead. And I was like, I never thought like that. To me, I just thought being a gangster, is being a rebel, trying to act hard. So she booked my flight back. Then I came back to Wellington. Be honest, I went to church how many times, but I still didn't. I was half. My heart wasn't there. I was still, like, I was going to church, but the people that I was contacting, the people I was still talking to, they were still part of the world in the street. It's not until I met my wife, but at that time we were just dating. She has played the biggest part in my life. If she saw me crying, she'd probably be like, son, don't cry. But she's played a big part. She's helped me and guided me to where I am today. Her family has shown me what true love is, and what love is means, what the actual word love means. Sorry. So if it wasn't for my wife and her family, I wouldn't know who God is today.
Who are you today?
I am Fafuina Lupo, and I am the son of the Most High.
Allowing me to see myself the way you see me.